Welcome to Better Than Bookstacks, where we prove to our friends that they aren't as boring as they think they are. My name's Maria,
I'm Jack.
and today, tell us who we have, Jack.
Today we have Edgar.
That's it?
Are y'all gonna add like clapping emojis?
No,
like okay,
That
not
was supposed to be
emojis.
you.
No,
You're
you guys
supposed to do
clap.
that.
You guys clap for
Yeah,
Edgar.
clap.
Snap. I'm a
Yeah,
snap
yeah.
guy.
Oh,
We'll snap.
okay.
We're gonna
Oh, wait.
snap. Here we
Yeah,
are again.
That's good. I know. Back with the snaps thing. Edgar, tell us what you do. Tell us a little about yourself. What do you want people to know you like?
I just do a bunch of music stuff. It can literally be anything music related. DJing is probably my main thing. Playing music, writing songs, producing, running audio, just everything really. Not really good talking about myself now that we're actually rolling. So.
No, that was
that's
super
good, yeah.
succinct and
Oh.
I know. I'm so
descriptive.
Thank you,
No,
thank
that
you.
was
impressed.
great.
I would have just been yapping.
Cool. Well, how would you describe me? What do you say I do?
That is a great.
Ooh.
You gotta put that in the little
I
question.
don't know if you're
Ooh.
gonna. I don't know if you're gonna like my description.
I guess we're about to find out.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
I usually tell people that your name is Eggs and you have a DJ business, and you're DJing my brother's wedding,
Oh yeah.
and you also do music, and you're a very talented songwriter, and I really like writing songs with you.
Thank you.
That's why I tell
I
people.
think she explained it better than I did.
Thank you. I was kind of nervous. You're kind of niche, so
Um,
can you explain to the people?
That I'm niche.
Yeah, tell them what that means.
Wait, what's niche? What is that?
I remember learning about it like in our environmental science class. Is it? No, it's like
Are you being serious?
yeah, it's like biodiversity. Like
Wait, what?
that's where I remember it from, and I just used it.
Let's go.
Tell Jack what
All right.
you like to tell people.
I don't
This is
use
really
it anymore.
broad.
I was
Like
using
what?
it. You explain to him.
Edgar likes to tell people that he's niche.
Okay.
He doesn't like it when other people are more niche than him.
No, I get that. Don't put him in a
So
box.
I'm his
That's
biggest
not
op
true.
because he says that I'm more niche than
That's
him.
not true. I
Okay.
just started saying I was niche to like really frustrate Maria because she wants to be niche even
Fair.
though she's not.
Ooh.
No, I'm
I'm
literally, that is not true.
so I don't think I've used it since like last time I saw you. For context.
Not
That's so
true.
funny.
Anyways, okay, so tell us a little more detail about the things that you do.
So
Like what you're currently
like what does
doing now.
DJing look like?
Oh no.
That's okay. We lost the blanket.
Wait, time out. Pause.
And we're back.
Great.
We're so
Okay.
back.
We're back.
Okay, can you repeat the
So,
question?
so Edgar, tell us a little bit more about like what does DJing look like for you? Like whether that's the business side of it or who you're DJing for, all that stuff, and then what is songwriting and kind of working with recording and all that stuff. What are those kind of? What does all that look like for you, kind of day to day?
Yeah. So I started DJing in college. Like, if I'm being honest, it was just a side hustle. Needed to make money. I started like listening to electronic music growing up throughout my. I know, make fun of me. I like Skrillex, whatever. Started listening to. Sorry,
Are you coughing?
it's dusty in here. Anyways, and then I kind of like honestly, if I'm being honest, I just lied and I would tell people I'm a DJ so I can get gigs, even though I didn't actually know how to DJ.
Nice. Let's go.
And
That's
I-
so
salesmanship.
iconic.
That's actually
That
like
is iconic.
that's the definition of faked it till I made it. Like I just kept saying that. Oh, you're looking for a DJ? I can DJ. I didn't actually know how to DJ. And so whenever I did get my first gig, I was like, oh, I gotta like
You're like,
learn how to
figure out
DJ.
do
I
it.
gotta
Yeah.
first I just started on a computer, like didn't know what I was doing. Got a little turntable, kept doing that, and eventually just got good at it from lying about it.
That's awesome.
Let's go.
And so DJed all of college, graduated, and I took kind of like a leap of faith, and I was doing just a bunch of random music stuff, DJing be one of those, and I didn't. My goal was never to like keep on DJing, but I kept on getting people asking, like friends from college who were getting married, kept asking to me DJ their weddings. I'm like, okay, I'll do it, and eventually I kept saying, oh, this will be my last one, this will be my last one, but it kept piling, and I was like, I should just do this because I wasn't really doing anything else other than like playing at churches and playing at our church specifically. And me and some friends were at Chipotle, and we were just talking about what we're doing in life. And they were like, "Hey, you should like start a business." And so I did. So been DJing, been like getting gigs and like training people and working with other people on DJing stuff. So it's kind of how I got into the whole DJ thing.
Dang.
Cool.
Wait,
Let's go.
what was your first gig, and how did you feel as a poser?
Oh, it was atrocious. So if I'm being honest, like I love the music side of DJing, but like when it comes to like weddings, this hopefully no one who hears this is gonna.
Our moms are watching, so.
No. I'm just saying that I'm like not the best MC, which is like the whole like
Yeah,
like
can
I
you
love the
explain
music stuff, but I don't like speaking as much.
Okay.
And so the first wedding I ever did, it was like a couple that was like in their 40s. Like I didn't know a lot of like the music they were wanting. All I had was my computer and a good spirit. And I hired my friend to be the MC because I was so awkward at talking in front of a mic at the time. I mean, I still am not the best. But he basically, which is funny because my friend, he's probably just as awkward as me on the mic. But except I'm self-aware about it and he's not.
That's awesome.
And
Let's
so
go.
he just was like, being like, okay, introducing Mr. and Mrs. blah, blah, blah. He would do all that stuff and I would just like press play. Stop it.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Press play. Just 'cause
Yes.
I was just so like insecure about my voice and speaking to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Dude,
So
that's funny.
that was my first gig. It was really awkward, but it showed me that I need to be more comfortable with my voice and in my own skin, and just the courage is not so much in how good you're doing something, but it's like your willingness to do it. And that's where like that's where the courage is from, is just even if you mess up, even if you stutter, even if you say something wrong, just like full send it, like no half, like not fully going for it. Like just mess up and who cares? Just have the confidence to mess up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say that's like kind of a value of yours as far as like courage goes?
Yeah, I would say like take risk. I think I put that in the questionnaire. Just take risk. It's scary, but also like this whole journey that I've been on with DJing and like making a living off of DJing has been literally like not so much because I lied about it at first, but I like the risk was in like wanting to do something and doing it even though I didn't know all the answers. I didn't know how to specifically do it. Like I knew that this is what I wanted to do, and I figured out along the way how to do it.
That's so interesting. I think that's so funny.
It's so weird.
It's funny because when I first met you, you were just Eggs the DJ.
That's crazy.
And it's crazy to think that you literally made that up. And
Yeah.
I believed you.
Yeah, I mean, even the name Eggs, is
Yeah, you
kind
just
of
started saying that.
I just started calling myself that, and then people
awesome.
started following like along
Let's
with it.
go.
Like, I just feel like a hypocrite. Like people would be like, oh, like what's your name? And I'm like, I go by Eggs. Like no one called me Eggs at the time that I started going by it. I was just in the middle. Like when I got to college, I was just in the middle of this whole like rebrand my image, because like in high school I was like honestly just like very like athlete. Like I wanted to do sports and stuff, and when I decided to do music, like my first year of college, that's really when I was like, I gotta rebrand my whole self, and I made it seem like I've been going by Eggs, but no, I made that all up. I feel like a lot of people probably think I'm a liar. I promise I'm not a liar. I just
Hey, no, that's
I'm
how
just
rebrand
creative.
works. Yeah.
I'm just creative
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny. No, that feels like a of all the stories I've heard about people who are like entrepreneurs and like kind of setting out on a new, I don't know, venture or whatever. Like a lot of them will do that where they're like, oh yeah, this is what I do and this is what they like, this is what I'm called and all this stuff. And on the back end, they're like, yeah, I've never done any of that. I didn't have any of the resources for it. Like I just told them I did it because I wanted to do it and they let me do it. And so here we are now. So I love that, like that risk of like, I don't know how to do this, but I want to.
Yeah.
And the only way to learn
is by
just
doing
doing
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's so cool.
Well, if you need a DJ,
Yeah.
Hit me
Eggs.
up.
Let's go.
Follow me on Instagram, Sunnyside DJ. Clean music. So if you want to like go crazy, I'm
not
not
your
about
guy.
it. But
Not your guy.
I do.
There's
I
a-
do. There's a.
Yeah.
Wait,
What's it
what were you
called?
gonna say?
No, I was gonna. I forgot the word. There's a
Take your
whole.
time. You can take your time.
Okay, yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, you got a minute.
Industry was what I was going for.
Yeah.
There's a whole industry for it. Because DJs. Okay, at least for me growing up, I went to a small private Christian school, and we had to have a clean DJ every time, and we would all try and convince him to like not give us a song not clean. And it was a whole ordeal, because the problem was, the reason why we did that is because the DJs were so bad. Like, it was so bad that we were like, whatever, just literally like,
yeah,
at that
can't
point
be
it was
worse
like
than this.
more of a game to get him to like break the rules thing.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
I
so
want
really
someone to play
funny.
that game with me. I won't break the rules. But yeah, if you're looking for a clean DJ, I mean, I still do all the cool, crazy stuff, all the fun stuff, but just clean,
that's nice.
Crazy clean fun.
crazy, clean fun,
That should
That's
be your
it.
slogan.
crazy, clean fun for you.
Nice.
I just made a new slogan.
Wow, that's crazy. No, you've been doing that for. That's been your slogan for
That's
years.
been my.
Yeah.
I actually made that up and didn't actually believe it, but yeah.
No, that's so cool. Okay, so DJing, and then you've also got like songwriting, recording, producing, all that stuff. What does that look like? How did you get into that? Was
Oh.
that a similar like, oh yeah, I'm a producer, but you weren't, or like? how did
Honestly,
that work?
now that I think about it, my whole life has been a lie. Like I'm just I just fake
That's what we're
everything
here
until
for.
I make it.
Helping everybody discover
I mean,
themselves.
I honestly, I don't think with the DJ stuff, I probably did know a little bit starting off. Same thing with like songwriting, but it's kind of like, to me, it's like just imposter syndrome. I think really is like what I'm
yeah.
dealing with. It's
That's
just
so
like,
fair.
because I do know quite a bit, and like I did know quite a bit, but just like in the middle of it, you're kind of just like, you think you don't.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, honestly,
yeah.
even like when I'm DJing, like sometimes I'll see other people and what they do, and I'm like, oh, I don't know anything, or I'm like, I'm definitely not anything. Like I shouldn't even call myself a DJ.
Yeah.
I do feel like that for sure with like songwriting and producing, and definitely when I was starting off, it's like this weird like beginner's confidence where like I'm like listening, I'm like thinking I'm all this, and then also like when I compare myself to other people, or whenever I see like people who are actually producers, songwriters,
Yeah.
DJs,
Yeah.
you're like, oh yeah, I shouldn't even be calling myself any of that. But yeah, I started kind of, I've always loved music since I was like a kid, but it all started really whenever I got an iPod when I was 11,
Yeah.
and so that's
Yeah.
how I
That's where
got
it
into
all
like
started.
Skrillex and
Let's go. Let's
Tell
go.
him your hero. Tell him.
huh?
Tell him your hero.
Michael Jackson. He is my hero though.
Like musically?
Yeah.
Let's go.
What hero? What are you talking about?
Calvin Harris.
Oh yeah, Calvin Harris. I mean, he's everyone's hero. He's like
Is he?
all the songs
Put
you
in the
remember
comments
listening
below.
on the radio in like 2016
Yeah.
was Calvin
No.
Harris.
Put in the comments below. Is Calvin Harris your hero?
Is he not responsible for some of the best summers of your
I mean,
childhood?
he is.
Right?
He had
Right,
some
I bet
bangers.
you
He has
for
some
sure.
bangers.
Summer.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna tell me that wasn't all over
You're gonna
your
tell me
Pandora radio?
You still listen to that?
I do when it's summer.
Hey, a banger's a banger.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Timeless. Like you just.
I listen to that and I think this is what my kids are gonna make fun of me for listening to.
Maybe.
Doubt it. They're gonna be like, "Wow, mom, you had such intriguing music taste growing up. I wish we
Yeah.
had
It's
that.
so niche.
Your music taste is so niche."
But I feel like the stuff that my mom has showed me, or dad, both of them, that's good. It's like it's good, you know.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "Oh, I listen
Yeah.
to this." If it's a bad song, I'm like, "Oh, that's."
Well,
weird
those
and
aren't the trending
stylistic."
songs. Those are the classics.
Yeah, that's gonna be a
Are
classic.
classics not
Is that not a?
trending?
No, they are. They are. But like, you got to think like Madonna. Like, there's some of the stuff on there that like it wasn't that great. You know.
Some of Madonna stuff. That's
Yeah.
like every artist.
Okay.
Can't
Yeah,
all be
yeah,
bangers.
yeah.
Like the
You know
bangers
what?
are
I
bangers.
stand
you know what I'm
corrected.
saying?
There's only like an artist.
Watch
that
me
has, like,
eat my words.
That was quirky.
She did it.
That was
She
kind
did
of
it.
quirky. I don't usually call Maria quirky. That was kind of quirky.
I'm sorry to the people.
She's very neat.
To
Yeah,
Madonna
yeah.
specifically.
Okay, so anyways, back to songwriting. Calvin Harris, Michael Jackson, feeling like an imposter.
Yes. yeah, I was just back to the iPod story.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
started listening to a whole
sorry
bunch of
about that.
music, and like this was also the time when like Spotify was really starting to take off.
Mhm.
Just something like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
2015 ish. Like I was just really inspired because I had been playing music, make like guitar since I was 10, but I had really been inspired to like create music, and I saw that the
Yeah.
way that just the music industry was just moving to where like Billie Eilish could like blow up with the song that her and her brother made in the bedroom.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that really inspired me like around like the 2010s through 20 like that whole era of like I guess we're all
Mhm.
similar ages, like the 2010s era.
Yeah.
It just inspired me to like just learn everything, and also like there's YouTube, big resource, like you could learn
Yeah.
anything on
Mhm.
YouTube.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, literally.
was learning production, was learning songwriting, was
Let's
learning
go.
how to play guitar. I learned like I had never done any sort of musical lesson up until like college when I studied music.
Wow.
So like guitar playing, piano playing, that all just came off of YouTube, and
Dang.
great
That's
resource.
awesome.
And it's just crazy to look back how far I've come. Like just my whole journey is just like slowly learning new things, slowly like I'd never wanted to be a singer. I always wanted to produce, and started writing songs. And like 10 years later, like now I'm like singing. I still don't consider myself a singer, but I would have never thought like I would be like some singing on some of my own projects. Also,
Yeah.
like
Uh-huh.
I used to hate my voice so much that when I would write songs, I would just write them by myself. And now it's like so interesting to see me writing with Maria, or
Mhm.
being able to like, as much as I still don't like my voice, to be in a comfortable spot where I can like openly share an idea, musical
Yeah.
idea with
Mhm.
my voice, and like
Yeah.
communicate that to someone, and then like also be able to take criticism. Like they're like, oh, we don't like that. Instead of
Yeah,
taking it
uh-huh.
personally, just like be able to grow with that. Because yeah, growing up, definitely most of the songwriting I did was just by myself. Like I wouldn't dare show
Mhm.
anyone. Like I didn't even show my parents
Mhm.
most of the songs growing
Yeah.
up. But now it's like I know I don't have the greatest voice, but I still am a lot more comfortable, and just it's all creativity, and it's all an idea. And even if it's I don't execute it the best when I'm songwriting with like someone like Maria, it's great to be able to communicate an idea, and they either take it, make it better, or be like, don't, no, we need to do something else. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
been very fun journey.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I have to tell you something. Jack's been keeping a secret this whole time from you.
I don't know about keeping a secret. It just
Um,
hasn't come up. It just hasn't come up.
This
No,
is
it's a
weird.
secret.
I don't know.
Are you ready?
I'm kind of. I don't know. I'm kind of scared.
Hold your breath. Jack also songwrites.
What?
Yeah, that's true. That's not a
No.
lie.
Why are you
That's not a
interviewing me?
lie.
Let me interview you.
We already talked.
Yeah,
about
we
it.
did that in the first episode. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's
yeah.
do it again.
Okay, all right. No, yeah, I songwrite.
Tell us your songwriting.
Yeah.
story.
All right, everyone. This
Your
is my
journeys.
friend Jack. Welcome to the podcast. Me and Eggs and Maria podcast.
Yeah. Let's go. Come on.
You, Eggs, and Maria.
What?
You said me, Eggs, and Maria.
Did I just talk about myself in the third person? All right. Anyways,
I love
Dude,
that.
that was
back
good though.
to
That was
Wow.
back
good.
to.
Are you
Anyways.
creative? Is that? I feel
Am
like
I?
that's crazy.
Aren't we all a little creative?
Aren't we all creative? Yeah,
Just-
that's so
Anyways,
fair. Anyways.
I'm trying to. Yeah, I write songs sometimes.
They're both very
I'm
talented.
a similar like imposter syndrome. Like wouldn't consider myself a songwriter or a producer or anything in that right, but I have written songs. Like started picking up guitar and vocals in high school,
Okay.
and then picked up some other instruments and kept going. And pretty much off the bat was like trying to write songs, and so kept doing that, and ended up putting out like a little album
Whoa.
after my senior year in high school. It's like not very good.
Can you link
but
it in the
I'm-
chat?
Link it in the
Oh,
chat.
I'll link it for you guys. Don't
Jack
expect
Eddie, look him up.
much. Yeah, Jack Eddie.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Is your
yeah.
name actually
Edgar's-
Eddie?
My
Edgar's
middle
is
name
Eggs.
is yeah.
Your middle name's Edgar?
It's Edmund. I
Jack
wish.
Edgar.
Edgar would be cool.
That would be kind of
Edgar
crazy if
Jack?
you guys had the same name.
That would be super cool.
It'd be kind of cute.
Yeah, but we don't.
Jack Eddie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, so I released an album, and then through college kept writing and released little like EPs and singles
Yeah.
throughout. And so I haven't released in a while, but yeah, it's been fun. And I just like would record on GarageBand and
Yeah.
do that. I was in a band in college too. That was fun, getting to write with other people, like same same feelings of like, I'm not a singer, don't really know that I should be
Okay,
here.
well, okay, whoa.
Because-
Okay, whoa. Both of you are getting on my nerves with that. But okay, keep going.
Anyways, but it was really fun. So yeah.
We'll link Edgar's stuff too on here.
Yeah.
For our moms to see.
Yeah, for our moms. Yes, my mom. My
Veronica.
mom is my biggest supporter. Shout out, mom.
She
Let's
is-
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my grandma. She doesn't even speak English, but she's like, "I love your music."
Oh, that's so
But she
sweet.
says it
Aw.
in Spanish, though.
Yeah. She says it in
That's so
Spanish.
sweet.
For our Spanish-speaking audiences.
Yeah. Can you say it in Spanish for them?
Me gusta tu música.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those listening in Mexico and South America.
Not in the States, though. If
And
you speak
Spain,
Spanish
if
and you
you're
live
there.
in the States, you're not.
There's-
That's not for
it's
you.
not-
It's just
English
for-
is now the official language of the United States. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that executive order signed the other day.
Yikes.
Sorry, no politics, no politics.
That's
no politics.
crazy.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm
That's
so sorry.
crazy.
That's-
Okay,
those
so
are-
Okay, yeah.
speaking of politics,
No, no.
no, trust me.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to talk about this one. I forgot what we were talking about. I was just gonna
Aw,
segue back to the
dang,
conversation.
that was-
That's
yeah,
all. Okay,
you-
okay. So, feeling like an imposter. I'm still stuck on that. How has that been like? How have you found yourself trying to like overcome that or push through that in your kind of creative endeavors?
That's a
What
great
does that look
question.
like?
I think with like the internet and like YouTube, we get access to just so much like content that we've never had access before, and especially like we just get a lot more behind the scenes stuff of like our favorite artists, our favorite bands.
Yeah.
And I feel like the whole imposter syndrome thing is across the board something we all deal with. Like I
Yeah.
mean, even like the biggest artists, even like with artists that have the biggest egos, they all still get imposter syndrome. And like
Yeah.
I love just in my free time, just like when I'm not making music, I love watching videos about like people making music because it inspires me even on like my time off.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like it's just something to keep on, like even though I'm not actively being creative, passively listening to someone be creative is
Yeah.
really inspiring.
Yeah.
So yeah, like across the board, I just feel like a lot of these artists are like, oh man, like when we were writing the songs, like it was like just a pile of turd. And it's like, wow, that's like my personal favorite song.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
oh yeah, like it took us 6 months and we like all gave up on it. Like I never thought it was gonna be good, and the record label was like, oh, let's release it. And I was like, oh, it's not even ready to be released, and they did it. Or they're also like, in order to combat their like imposter syndrome, they will just like if they'll just release it. So like who was, I don't know, remember who was talking, but it was like they were recording guitar and the guitar wasn't finished, but they're like, who cares? Like, and so that's what I've been doing. Like I feel like I'm also feel like an imposter because some of my stuff is so imperfect. Like because either like I'm not,
Yeah.
I play like guitar, piano. I still don't think I'm the best at all those, but actively trying to combat that by, even if I didn't play a piano part the best, it's still it's what makes us human. Like
Yeah.
it's like the humanity of it is that it's not perfect. And so purposely like being like, oh, who cares if I didn't do that part right? Who cares if who cares if this word that I wrote in the song doesn't really sound the best? I think it fits. So
Yeah.
just doing it and like actively like trying to stop obsessing over the little things and just like take it as it is, because there's people out there who, to them, that's all they know is the song, even though like that song has lived up in my head and I have this perfect picture of the song in my head. They don't have that picture of it, so they're like, what they're receiving
Yeah.
of the song is like already what the song is instead of what, because they don't see what I had in my head. So just like the whole imposter syndrome, like everyone has it, and also it's just like so unnecessary. Like
Yeah.
it's so necessary. Like there's no reasoning to be that. We're all like unique in our own ways. We all have gifts in our own ways.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that.
Yeah.
I also love how you don't have to be the best at any instrument to make something that's just like beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like it's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like it's crazy to think that like Billie Eilish, they made this in these like hit songs in the room, and like they're like by no means like the most like hardcore best recorded songs ever,
Yeah.
but there's just something special about them, you know?
Yeah.
There's just like that rawness, that humanity people are like drawn to,
Yeah.
and that's just, I mean, some of my favorite songs growing up, I listen to them now, and like, well, hear a part that like the bass player obviously messes up, but I never realized that most of like
Yeah.
growing up. I'm only
Mhm.
realizing
Yeah.
now because I'm over analyzing, but then you can over analyze little details, or you can just take it as a whole, and it's
Mhm.
so nice when you just like take a song, take a piece of art, whatever it is, as a whole, and just be like, that's what the song is, that's what the piece of art is,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and like appreciate it much more.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm.
That's good.
Well, we have another question for you.
Oh, that was only one question.
I'm just
I am a yapper.
Yeah. Speaking of politics.
Speaking of
Oh yeah,
politics,
yeah.
Yeah, Maria, take it away.
Where are you going with music making? And what we mean by that is kind of what are you doing currently that's helping you grow? Any challenges that you're facing, all of that right now that you would say within the music realm. Could be producing, could be DJing, whichever one you want,
Yeah,
or both.
yeah. So in all fairness, I love the DJing thing. That like was what supports my living and how I'm able to keep on doing music. But I like the songwriting and the production. That's my passion. Like that's what I really love to do.
Mhm.
Like I said, I love the DJing part, but I feel like where I'm going is I want to do more of the DJing part. But like do it more intensely, but do it like less, if that makes sense. So like
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
find ways to like be able to do it like let's say once a week, but whenever I'm not DJing, able to do more of the music, songwriting, production thing. So that's where I'm heading. I'm like just trying to find ways to make more money with less time, so that I'm able to
Okay,
do
yeah.
like the songwriting production, because that stuff is what I find the most joy in, but it's also like the least profitable of
Yeah.
everything
that
else
makes
that I
sense.
do. You
Uh-huh.
know,
Yeah.
Tough.
so like DJing like affords me the ability to
Mm.
do the other stuff, and I would love to eventually like fully be able to songwrite, produce, and make most of my living off of that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what I'm thinking. It's like because like I said, the DJ stuff affords me that ability to
Mhm.
do more
Yeah.
songwriting and production
Mhm.
stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. So in the like songwriting production space, what have been some of your like favorite projects to work on?
I was literally just
Yeah.
about to ask
And like and
that.
also is there anything that you are looking forward to doing in that space like in the near future?
Can you say that one more again?
Yeah,
One
yeah,
more
yeah.
time?
So like what are some
I
of
just
your
blinked.
favorite projects that you've worked on in the songwriting and production space?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then what are some projects you're excited about working on in the future?
Yeah, like it's funny because as I keep saying, I don't consider myself a singer. Like I will call myself a piano player, even though I don't think I'm the best. I will call myself that. I will call myself a guitar player, but I still don't think I'm a singer. But my favorite stuff that I've ever done are like my own personal stuff, because I feel like
Yeah. Mhm.
a lot of my life experience, there's a lot of people who are able to just write about anything. I'm more of like I have to write based on life experience, or just like take influences of stuff that I've written in my life. And I always try to write songs. When I first started, sorry, making money off of producing songwriting, I would try to like write it with the other person in mind, but it never worked out until I started like really like I need to just do it all on my feelings. And I would write songs for myself, but then pitch it to other people. And
Okay.
I just eventually was like, I just need to start singing my own stuff. So most of my favorite songs that I've written are all just my own personal stuff, because it's like my own story that I feel
Yeah.
like no one else can sing
Yeah.
but me, or perform but me. And so I've had cool opportunities in just different genres that I've worked on for other people, and that I, of course, really love. And everything I work on, I always like, it's always like a piece of my soul into the project. I can't just be like, oh, I'm doing this for you, hands off.
Right.
Which I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
their song, yes, but it's also like, it's
Yeah,
also like
you're,
kind
like,
of
part of
birthed
it.
out of me, right?
Yeah.
Like a
Oh, like a little,
Was it a
little baby.
Like a little egg?
Yeah, like a little egg. That's what I'm calling the album, Egg.
egg.
That's incredible.
I thought you were. Never mind. You keep going.
But with that being said,
It's good.
so I probably like that breath probably just clipped the mic. I'm looking forward to doing a lot more of my own music in the future, and definitely I'm closing out a season of my life where I've been writing a lot, but not actually like producing it, like just writing, just me on a guitar.
Yeah.
Maria's been there for like a song or two that
Yeah.
we've worked on, and so I want to closing that season out of my life of just writing, but also closing out a season where I'm like doing work for other people because I want to focus on my own stuff, and there's just so much life experience that I've lived since I've released a song. I haven't released a song in like over a year, and I definitely haven't released like an EP since high school. So there's just so much that I've lived in 5-ish years.
Well, and you've had a lot happen, I feel like, just in this past year.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have like 2 albums worth of stuff that has happened the past year.
Yeah.
So I just want to focus on just putting those ideas out there, and I feel like my music isn't like very like to a demographic or to a certain type of listener. When I create music, I just want to create it for myself. Like that really is what it is. It's like I want to create it, put it out, and just leave it out there. Like if people want to listen, it's okay. If people don't, it's okay. Like I'm still gonna put in effort. Like I want people to listen, but it truly is like this probably is 180 to what most people think nowadays, that like music is all about consumption. I mean, with just the availability of like millions of songs on Spotify. But truly, it's for me. Like I love it, and I want to write more for myself and just produce for myself, and also just it's a goal of mine to release an album, which I haven't done ever.
That's wild to me. That's wild.
That's awesome.
We've talked about this at the young adult thing that we go to, about like creating things for just like art's sake, like just making something for art's sake, not necessarily having that. And I've always said that I like want a shoulder tattoo, like just to have art for art's sake on my body, just because I appreciate it too much and I love it too much to not do something like that.
What would it be? Like a turtle?
It would literally be, I would.
I don't know. I just pictured a turtle on your shoulder because you said for art's sake. I was just like trying to think of the most random thing I could think of.
Incredible.
I'm sorry. That was really serious.
No, I would go to a tattoo artist I like and be like, whatever you want, don't make it.
Like
that's
let the
risky.
artist do their
That's
art.
crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like for art's sake, like art for art's sake.
And now it's permanent, so you better not
You
goof
saying
it
that's
up.
crazy when
That
you said a turtle?
Yeah, no, I mean yes. I was saying that
You
like
suggested a
I mean, a
turtle,
turtle's
and
not very
I
mine's
thought like
crazy.
I was thinking like you just want art's sake, meaning like kind of like just
Like the
whatever
words.
comes. I was thinking just the most random thing I could. No. I was thinking just like the most random thing I could think of, just on your shoulder for art's sake,
Yeah.
I thought of a turtle.
That's
That
That
was
was
maybe
straight
I'll
from
put
the
that
ether
in.
right
That
there.
was from.
Straight from the ether. Reached into the ether.
Dang.
Wow.
That's a whole nother
That's
episode.
crazy, yeah.
We're gonna deep dive into the ether. Access the ether in real time.
That's actually
yeah.
what this
Catch us
episode should be called.
Season 5.
Season 5.
That's crazy.
Okay, anyways, I was
Anyways.
saying I feel like that's something that is not necessarily lost but not talked about. Like there are a lot of artists out there that really enjoy making art for art's sake, but those things aren't always highlighted. So it's hard. It's like kind of an uphill battle to do, because you're like making things against this like consumerist mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it is just like the simple fact of making a living and stuff. But but it's cool to think about, okay, when I'm writing this and doing this, like my money to live is coming from elsewhere. This is actually where I get to like be myself and like share myself with the world, I think that's really interesting.
Yeah. I love how much just like beautiful art there is from people who aren't trying to make a living off of it and just do it because they love it. And like you talking about your like that tattoo thing, when I got mine, you were with me.
tattoo? Yeah.
I've got this
Show,
on my
show for
arm.
the camera.
Yeah,
Here's
show
I don't know if you
people.
guys can see that. It's like
I'm sure they
it's like a
can.
lamb. It's a whole thing.
I'll describe it to you.
Yeah, okay. Maria's gonna describe it
There's
right
a
now.
circle. There's a lamb. It's got little lights around it, and then it's got a staff. Why? It's not lights.
Yeah.
You don't think it's lights?
I would say it's like aura. I know it's a
Aura?
buzzword. It's
Aura. It's got an aura to
Aura.
it. It's got an aura.
It's got Nora.
Okay.
Anyways, the girl who did this is super talented, but she went to school for like illustration or something like that. And then found her way to becoming a tattoo artist.
Wow.
And there was another guy in the shop that did another friend of mine's tattoo.
Which looks sick.
It looks really good. It's on
so
his
good.
thigh. It's crazy.
Both of them
It's so
look
good.
really good. It's wild.
Well, yeah. And so he also went to school for like portraiture or something like that. And so
What?
you have these people.
Went to school for what?
Portraiture, like portraits,
like
and
making-
You just
those
made that
types
up.
of things.
Sorry. I just.
I think that's what he said.
Portraiture.
It might just be
You
illustration,
literally
but he
just met
loves
Jack.
portraits.
You're like
I don't
coming
know.
for his neck.
That's
baby.
crazy.
I'm just
I'll just
sorry.
get a
Sorry. I
turtle.
was just.
I'll just get a turtle on my shoulder.
Okay.
My bad.
It's all
My
good.
bad. My bad. My bad. I just that word. I was like, what
Everybody
is he
just-
saying? Okay. I'm
just
sorry.
get a
I'm so
turtle.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Anyways.
But I love that they're like, they love the art and they love making it, but they didn't go into it like I'm going to be a tattoo artist, and they're not
Yeah,
being tattoo artists because they're like, I want to be recognized. They're just like, enjoy what they do, can make a living from it, and really just like to make the art
Yeah.
and appreciate
Yeah.
it. And so I just think that's so cool. And it's a bummer that more people who are really talented who can't make a living off their art, like it's a bummer that they can't make a living
Yeah.
off of it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's so
Mhm.
much like beauty to so many
Yeah.
people and their stories and how they perceive the world and communicate that through art. And so
Yeah.
yeah.
Moral of the story is, even if you're not these two, you should still make stuff and create stuff and never stop, even if you think it sucks.
For
Keep
art's
going.
sake. For art's
For
sake.
art's
Make
sake.
art for art's sake.
Make a
And
turtle for
fake
art's
it-
sake.
Make it. Draw a turtle for art's sake.
Fake a turtle till you make a turtle for
Fake
art's
it-
sake.
Fake. a
That
turtle.
that's what people say.
That's what they
you
say.
know what they
That's
say.
what they
That's what
say.
they say.
That's what
Fake
they
a
say.
turtle
Yeah.
till you make a turtle. That feels inappropriate.
Hey yo,
But here we are.
cut that out. Cut that out of the podcast. Censor that.
All right. Anyways, so the overarching question was like, where are you going? I feel like that's a cool like going kind of for yourself in this season after
Yeah,
coming
that's
out of
cool.
season of like just figuring out what you're doing and
Mhm.
having to do it for other people to get there, and now being in a place of like, okay, like I think I want to pursue this for myself. That's really cool. I love that.
Thank you.
Excited to hear
Yeah.
like everything you
super
create.
pumped.
The
Yeah.
egg.
And then
The
he's gonna
egg.
make my album.
Then I'm gonna make
Let's
the egg
go.
part 2.
The egg
Maria.
part two. He's
Maria's
gonna make
egg.
the chicken.
Maria's egg. The golden goose.
And then who
Nice.
knows? Maybe he'll help produce Jack's.
Yeah, I would love that. I'm already
Oh,
thinking about it.
the third
personally,
album.
actually.
The Jack
The
egg.
third, the Jack egg.
Jack
and
This
the-
is
Jack and the
No,
eggs.
this is the beanstalk.
Jack and the egg stall. Sorry, it's not funny. That was not
No,
good.
I like that. I like it. That's so
I
good.
really loved the effort there, though. You were really.
I thought I was.
you just
I
kept
thought it was
going.
like Jack and the Beanstalk. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
Golden Goose. Is that a part of the
Golden
story?
Yeah,
Goose?
yeah, it is.
Is that the no?
Yeah,
It's
it
just
is
a movie.
Golden
Is
Goose.
that
Is that a
just
different story?
No, it's the same one. Jack climbs up the
he
beanstalk
finds
and,
Golden
he
Goose?
finds the golden goose and he's taking.
But there's
it
a
Okay.
in the
giant.
bag.
So, look at we
And
all
then the
just-
giant comes. He's like,
It's
"Stop
we
messing
just-
with my goose."
yeah,
I
we
love
just-
that you know
Oh, you're right. I just remember from a movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, we tied in the whole egg.
Yeah, you did, you did
Golden
it.
Goose.
That was good.
Jack.
Goose Jack.
We did it.
Dang.
We did it. Big
Wow.
brain.
We should make a joint album for like with all of our songs on there, retelling a story in a totally different. Okay, you know what?
It's just-
I'm gonna pitch this
it's
off
Okay.
camera because I'm not about to be made fun of.
Yeah.
In this room.
You don't want to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
Maria work in real time. Like you don't want
No,
to see her.
it's pretty rough. I
It's
won't
gotta
lie.
marinate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
No, it's pretty rough. I tell people all the time I'm very much in ideas. I'm a give the bad one before we get to the good one.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
can't, don't think
Anyways,
like that.
Yeah, I don't
don't think like
I don't think that's true. I think you had this podcast was Maria's idea, and I think it's a pretty good idea. So
Good. Hey,
It was a joint effort
The
though, just
fact-
like eggs with
the
with
fact that you're doing this
Excuse
podcast is like that you're taking a step and doing this
Taking a
podcast
risk.
is like very courageous
Aw.
and very like I mean, the hardest part of trying new things is just that initial step. So I'm
That's
proud,
so fair.
I'm proud of
Yeah.
y'all.
Well,
both
thanks
of you.
for coming.
yeah.
I'm here.
I mean, you're not done. We have a couple more questions for you. But
But thanks for being a
that
part
would
of
have
it.
been a
Good.
really cool ending if I had like planned that a little better. Anyways, next question. Speaking of politics,
No, thank you.
Pass.
Fast. Next question.
what would you say your peak would be in music, making music in general?
What do you mean, like my
Like, okay, I've peaked. I could
Like I've
literally
made
sit
it.
Oh,
down
I've
and
always-
die happy.
Okay, I don't think this will ever happen.
Okay.
But I've always told myself, if I could win a Grammy, if I won a Grammy, I would just stop doing music. I would do something. I mean, it's funny because
That's so
I
fair.
love music.
Yeah,
Of course,
yeah,
I
yeah.
love music, and I only say that because I don't think it'll ever happen.
Mhm.
But if I won a Grammy, I have always said that would be my peak, and I would just learn about electricity or something. I would just do like electrical work or like pick up a
Let's
trade
go.
job,
Here I
do
am, a
plumbing
trade
or something.
woman.
I don't know,
Yeah.
like
That's
do
funny.
HVAC system. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would do if I won a
That's
Grammy,
awesome.
I would just like full 180. Like that's to me, that's already like the top of the mountain.
Like, do you would you not make any music ever, or would you just try to be going into hiding so that you're not like famous? Like, what's the
no.
motivation there?
I think the motivation is just, to me, I think that's just like the pinnacle. I mean, I don't know if I don't want to like ruffle any feathers. I just think that's like probably the pinnacle of like most musicians' career. Maybe not most, but like at least for mine, because
Mhm.
I really love like pop music and I really love like
Yeah.
mainstream media and
Yeah.
I really love like all that stuff. To me, like a Grammy is just like I made it,
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and so I would just do some 180 because it's like, oh, I already did the thing.
Yeah.
Try something
Yeah.
new, like
Yeah.
pursue something new, go back to college. I don't know.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
That'd be cool, and it's
That'd be
crazy
pretty
because
cool.
like if it were possible, it'd be funny if it was like within the next 5 years, and it's just like, well, that was
That would be
quicker.
hilarious.
It could either be
No.
the next 5 years, or it could literally just be like my whole life,
Yeah.
like until like I'm 80, like
Yeah.
trying to achieve this dream. You
Yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't think it's a realistic goal, but that's also why I set such a strong
Mm-hmm.
like that I would complete 180 if I won a Grammy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. A Grammy.
That's pretty awesome.
I just love pop music, and I
That'd be
mean, I
super
grew
cool.
up watching all the like the Grammy Award nominations and
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
ceremonies, and I loved it. To me, that's just like being there would just be like the dream come true. Some people might call that like shallow, but that was always like a dream of mine growing up. And also, I mean,
Yeah,
even like
uh-huh.
most like awards have lost. A lot of awards have just lost their like legitness nowadays. But to me, that's still like it's just something I would really love to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Uchi, yeah.
Have the Grammys already happened this year?
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. Won like 5 of them.
Oh,
Come on,
yeah.
you know
I forgot
this.
about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And the Super Bowl.
And the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Dang.
And Billie Eilish
Man, he had a good
didn't
year.
win a single Grammy for Birds of a Feather,
Wow.
which is crazy. That was probably one of the
That's
most beautiful.
crazy.
It's one of the most
That's
beautiful.
wild.
I'm honestly not the biggest Billie Eilish fan, but I think I've name dropped her like
Well,
7
yeah, I was
times
about
in
to
this
say you
episode
said
already.
her name.
But I mean, I have a lot of respect for her, obviously, and she does pop
Like, she
music.
started
As
in her bedroom.
well. She's
She
great.
literally did.
She's obviously
So talented.
great, so talented.
Yeah.
I know like the majority of her songs, but I wouldn't say like I'm an avid fan.
Yeah.
But I've name dropped her like 7 times.
Well, Billy, if you're watching,
Really, if you're watching.
come on
I
and
also
prove Edgar wrong.
Yeah.
That's all we
yeah.
gotta say.
I
come
would
do a
also like
live
to make
concert
music
for
in you and Phineas's bedroom,
Not with them though, just in the bedroom.
This-
just by
this-
myself, using the
Like,
same
if you guys could leave, that
same
would be great.
$20 mic in your bedroom.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What? Okay, so you love pop music. Would you say that is a big influence on like the stuff you write, like your own personal stuff?
Great question.
I think actually I've tried to like reconcile how my music and pop music reflect, because a lot of my music, I would say it's really personal,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I approach it with the philosophy that like the reason I'm so drawn to pop music is because I think there's something so special in music that's made to appease the masses. Like it's so I
That's
mean
so
it's so
fair. Yeah,
difficult
yeah,
to
yeah.
like a song has to be like generally liked
Yeah.
by a bunch of
Yeah.
people, and so like
Yeah.
I remember being kind of embarrassed growing up because it's kind of like a basic thing to like pop music or like the big Marvel blockbuster
Right.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also
Yeah.
thought it was like it's so interesting because it's like it has to be made in a way that it's attractive to a large audience, you know, like that has to be
Yeah.
difficult.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
very like I mean humanity in general is just very diverse, like not
Yeah.
only like I mean just what we like as a human
Mhm.
race, and the music for like pop music, pop media has
Mhm.
to like appease to a large
A
crowd.
lot of them, yeah.
And so I think I take the philosophy that when I make music, I take a step back and, like I said, my music's very personal, so it's not like I'm writing like catchy, hooky pop
Yeah.
music.
Mhm.
But my philosophy is that like I take a step back and be like, could I be like a person from any background listening to this and find something attractive about it? You know, like
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
it could be like maybe the phrases I'm using, maybe like when I write, since it's personal, I try and use just like common words,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Uh-huh.
common language that people, or like even the production, like it doesn't have to be the most revolutionary thing, just something like the majority of people would like, oh, this is nice, this is pleasant, like it doesn't have to be the craziest thing, like no one's ever done this, but just doing it with the philosophy that like if I was just some random person listening to this, would I find something attractive about it? Would I find something
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
beautiful about what I just made?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Uh-huh. That's really interesting. I think about that a lot in Christian music, of like, you know, everybody likes to dog on Christian, like worship, popular worship stuff, but I'm also like, yeah, but like everybody's singing it.
Yeah,
you know, 'cause
exactly.
It's so
Yeah.
relatable in some
Exactly.
way, you know, even though it's like, okay, it lacks some depth and stuff, and I still think it's very important to be writing songs in your local
Yeah.
church and all of that stuff too, but there is something to the general, like appeasing to a lot of different people. That's really
Yeah,
It takes a
I
lot
would
of
even
talent.
like use a different word than appeasing and say like unifying in a way of like
That was
just
beautiful.
across.
That was beautiful.
So
that was
many-
beautiful.
We're about to break out in song,
Ding.
Maria, saying, "What a beautiful name it is."
Um,
I'm not a singer. I'm not a singer.
not a singer.
Not a singer.
Um,
I'm not a singer.
no, but really like across demographics, like what you're talking about, and just how that like can bring people together, and even in Christian music, how it's like all these people, different circumstances in life, and different stories are coming together, and they're connecting over this one thing, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a really cool way to
Yeah.
bring people together.
Yeah.
I love
It
that.
can mean so many different things to so many different people too. Of like, I was literally just talking to somebody the other day about a specific song, and it was funny because they were saying this like really sweet experience that they had during this song, and I was like, man, I had a really like not great experience during that song, you know.
Yeah.
But it was
Yeah.
like the coolest thing to be like, there's something redeemable about that song for me because of this person's experience, even though like, and not that I didn't like the song, it was just like a really hard time in my life that like it brings me back to that. And just it was something really redeemable, and it felt like, oh, I'm seeing things in a new light, but it's something about the generalization that allows for that space of movement within it to experience it differently.
Yeah.
That I was like, I had never really thought about that, and I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I feel the temptation just as a person who likes music and is like likes to make music and stuff, to be a little like, wow, you know, they're like these underground artists and I hate all these things, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so sometimes it's refreshing to be reminded like it's not like that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on the underground artist thing, but it's more because I don't want to get stuck in the mainstream,
Yeah.
you know? Like, because there's so many people creating so much
Yeah.
beautiful art that I'm like, okay, I want to. It feels
Yeah.
like disrespectful to just be like, I'm just going to sit in
Yeah,
kind of
no,
what's fed
definitely,
to me.
definitely.
uh-huh.
Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with
Yeah.
that music. It's just,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
more
yeah.
than that.
Yeah, and for me, like even though I like pop music stuff, I do listen to all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Like I mean, different genres. I always go back to like when people ask me like my favorite artist, I'm gonna say Michael Jackson, Calvin Harris, like big, just like multi-million.
Yeah.
The fact that you say Michael Jackson and Calvin Harris in the same sentence.
Michael Jackson's the king of pop.
Crazy.
Calvin Harris was all over pop radio.
That's crazy.
Same thing. Michael Jackson, Calvin Harris. So.
So you're like, can I tell? You can't even tell the
You
difference.
can't even tell the difference. They sound the exact same.
Like, Smooth Criminal or something.
Smooth Criminal, Summer, don't know the difference.
Same
Beats me.
Same song. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's funny. Yeah. That's good.
Dang.
Do you listen to a lot of EDM? You mentioned EDM earlier.
I kind of had like a rebirth recently.
Okay.
So I
Oh.
did grow up listening to like, I mean, when I got my iPod, that was like really the first time I was kind of developing my own music taste. Cause like before that, I was kind of just listening to whatever my mom or dad would listen to in the radio or on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So then getting an iPod is like I started discovering just a lot of music, and this was also like, because I mean you had to buy music back then,
Yeah,
so I didn't.
yeah.
As a little middle
Yeah.
schooler, I didn't have all the money like in the world. So I mean, a lot of it was just like going on Pandora for free. And
Yeah,
honestly,
finding
how
it.
I don't listen to them at all. But like Owl City,
Yeah.
I would like
Gosh,
I
yeah.
started off. I clearly remember I would just do like Owl City, Pandora Radio, and then Owl City's like he's not EDM, but he's like electronic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so on like his radio, it like slowly like I liked Owl City at the time, but also I was like there has to be something more.
Yeah.
And so like in that like radio, it would like introduce me to like some actual like EDM songs, and then from there I'm like
Yeah.
I want to make a station off of this artist.
Cool.
And so like Zed, Calvin Harris, a bunch of like
Yeah,
EDM.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, this was just the time for that, like
Yeah,
Chainsmokers.
for sure.
That's
For
so
sure.
That was just
Yeah.
peak. It was a good like 4 years.
Mhm.
And so I feel like after like kind of like 2017, I really stopped listening. I just felt like it just became so saturated, and that style became so cookie cutter. And
Yeah.
That's
it's like
fair,
I
yeah.
like pop music, but I don't like that pop music that sounds like
That's like a.
like
yeah.
it's like you can find in a stock library
Yeah.
type of pop music.
Yeah, yeah,
you
that's
know,
right.
like very
Mhm.
like generic sounding. Like I
Mhm.
still like another thing I like about pop music is that like songs like a rock song could be considered pop, a rap song could be considered
That's
pop.
what-
Like
yeah.
it's still
I
like,
like
even
that
in the
section.
pop genre, there's a bunch of different
Yep.
genres that could be
Mhm.
considered pop, because what
Yeah.
makes
Based
something
off
pop
of-
is just
Mhm.
not the specific genre, but like how
Mhm.
the masses perceive it. You
Right.
know.
Mhm.
Right.
And what was
Um,
in and what was
yeah.
popular at the time, yeah. Mhm.
So started like not listening to that as much, and started like definitely going for like the more indie pop scene, just like
Mhm.
with the birth of or with Spotify really taking off. It's
Yeah.
like discovering all those like smaller artists that are still pop but indie pop,
Mhm.
maybe not as available, but still have like that clean pop sound. but
Yeah.
maybe not a lot of
Yeah.
people know
Mhm.
them. So that's kind of the route I started going. I haven't always been the biggest into hip hop, but definitely like I feel like after the EDM era was the trap beats era,
Mm.
The
where like even
trap
like a little
beats.
like
That's
over it kind of
awesome.
That's
overlapped a little.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
definitely
uh-huh.
started getting into that like after that whole EDM phase,
Mm.
and then R&B. Like I prefer. I feel like R&B and hip hop like sound similar nowadays,
Mhm.
as far as like the production composition
Yeah.
of it.
Mhm.
But really, I really like R&B a little more just because of like it's more melodic.
Yeah.
So really got into R&B the last few years, but then like I would say, I'm hitting like I feel like we're hitting the age where like things are just nostalgic. Like our
Yeah.
childhood is
Mhm.
nostalgic now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I started listening to a bunch of like EDM artists. Like I mean, even like some EDM artists are like releasing their first album in, like 10 years. Like
Yeah,
Zed,
cool.
Zed released the first album in like 10 years. Started getting in on that.
Wow.
Just revisiting a lot of my favorites, and also like
Yeah.
discovering just how it progressed kind of
Mm.
now that it's not as big on the radio, how that genre has progressed a little
Yeah,
more
uh-huh.
underground.
Yeah.
So I've been
yeah.
revisiting like a lot of like my electronic music
Yeah. Uh-huh.
phase and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like I love that experience of going back in nostalgia, like as far as music goes, because you discover new artists and like figure
Yeah.
out new things, and I think that's really
Mm.
interesting. I've been on a.
That's cool.
I'm about to expose myself. I've been on an emo punk kick.
Let's
Emo
go.
girl.
Yeah.
That's
Emo girl.
that's a crazy
I wa-
combo.
That is a crazy combo.
I was
Not Maria.
okay. There was a phase of my life where I was like super into emo punk, but like secretly, you know, because I was an emo girl. But
She
I,
was a
like,
shy
yeah.
emo girl.
I was so shy. Anyway. But I was just talking to a friend recently, and we were talking about emo punk, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that threw me back!" And now I've like rediscovered all these artists.
That's so funny. I don't know why I didn't
I know.
see you listen to emo punk.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
I mean, it's probably like just recently I started listening to a bunch of gangster rap. I never listened to gangster rap growing up because my parents were not the type to listen to that. So I feel like that's probably the same. Me listening to gangster rap,
Mhm.
me listening to
Yeah,
like,
that
emo.
was the-
emo punk.
like, yeah.
I feel like Jack probably listens to like some Russian screamo
Yeah, what's your-
music
Yeah.
or something.
Oh, you hit the nail on the head.
Just the
That's
type of guy.
crazy.
Russian
Russian.
screamo
Wow.
or some like.
No, I don't listen to Russian
What's
screamo.
your?
I wish.
What's
Honestly.
your
Um,
niche?
I'm gonna fix
What's your
this.
niche genre that you're
My
like,
niche
oh, people wouldn't
genre.
expect me to be listening?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I have one. I feel like I'm pretty predictable. I listen to like the indie pop stuff, the singer, songwriter, folky, acoustic stuff.
Yeah. Mhm.
Lo-fi. I love lo-fi.
Oh, interesting.
I could see that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
like,
I
not
definitely.
surprising.
I know that the lo-fi's not surprising. I get the I
Like,
get the
Get into
lo-fi
lo-fi. You're gonna have
vibe.
to give me some good recs
I
because I
had-
can't. I get
just put
bored.
on-
Just study.
Yeah.
That's what you listen to.
Yeah, just put it on while you're like reading or something in the background. A little quiet.
Okay, I just
have some like
can't,
nice lighting going.
Yeah,
and
have some
you're gonna
ambient.
Oh, so
love
it's
it.
like
Get
a
the window
vibe.
open.
Oh,
hear
yeah, no,
hear
it's a
the
whole vibe.
breeze
Mhm.
and the
Okay,
ambient car noise.
okay.
Yeah, this is how you
okay.
lo-fi. If anybody wants to know,
Yeah, if you haven't lo-fi'd,
This is how
lo-fi
you do it.
101.
you heard it here first.
Lo-fi
You know what they
101.
say about lo-fi.
Whenever you lo-fi, you
You don't go back-fi.
That was good.
That was gross. I don't like this bit. I
We'll
don't
get it.
I like when y'all do the bit. I-
We'll get
the
it.
best
part
part
of it.
about the bit is that you just never know what's gonna happen.
That's what
Yeah.
they say about the bit.
That's
You just never
you
know what's
what
gonna happen.
they say about the bit.
You just never know.
You never know.
So you don't
It's
have
true.
anything that like you would be like we would be surprised that you
Yeah.
say you listen to.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I
Or like
took
Bad
like
Bunny.
a year off. I've actually
Come on.
never listened to. I
Oh,
don't think I've heard
Imagine
a single
he's
song.
gonna be bumping Bad Bunny.
Yeah,
Yeah, now I'm gonna like on the way home.
I could see him rocking some Bad Bunny,
Okay, there you go.
but like in an unpredictable.
Now I
way.
gotta try it. Okay. I'll find something unpredictable for you guys. But no, I went on like a year hiatus from like any streaming, like music streaming. So I was either in silence
Oh.
or just like the radio in my car. And
Dang.
it was
that
really
honestly,
nice.
that
It
feels
was,
superior.
It was really helpful. And then when I got back into it, don't hate on me. Don't hate on me.
No, we're not hating. That's honestly so superior.
When I got back into streaming, I went from Spotify to Apple Music.
No,
so
I use Apple.
Oh,
I use
oh,
restart.
oh,
I
do you wanna
technically
go
use both.
we got an
I use
Apple Music
Do you
couch
want to
here?
go ahead? Do you want to go ahead
Apple
and share
Music
with
couch?
the class about Apple Music?
Apple Music Couch. Y'all had
Yeah,
one
no,
last week
okay.
too, or
Is that you
last time
accepting
because
me?
Lily
Is that you
uses
accepting
Apple.
Yes,
right
I'm
now?
accepting you. Okay, listen, everybody. Everybody should
Is
know
this
this
an ad?
before. No, everybody should know this before we continue talking about Apple Music.
Guys, something
I
huge
had-
just happened.
I
Go ahead.
had Apple Music. Okay,
She had
I've
it
had
first.
Apple Music. Okay, I've been ruthlessly made fun of ever since I've had it, which is forever. Okay, and this
So
guy over
necessary.
here was one of them, ruthlessly making.
Wait,
fun
so
of
this
me.
is recent?
Before,
is
oh
recent.
yeah, Apple Music has been like I think I got it in like November. Or
No, so he sends me a
super-
song
super
over
recent.
text one time, sent it to me over Apple Music, and I said, "Oh, that was nice of you to think about how I don't know." And he goes, "Oh no, I just switched."
Whoa.
I said, "That's so interesting because remember 2 weeks ago when you were making fun of me." So, anyways,
I
Yeah.
have a lot of tea on Spotify. I cannot stand
Oh.
Spotify, but I use it. Not for my when I list. Look,
I use
look.
it.
I gotta explain this real quick.
Don't hate on Spotify. They're
No,
gonna they're gonna take
I
it
know
down.
they're gonna take us down.
It's your-
Oh, I'm so. This is gonna be on
It's okay.
Spotify. I'm so sorry. Just redact everything I say Spotify.
No, we love.
But
we
for
love-
us,
We
Yeah,
love
yeah.
both of you.
I love Apple Music for listening. Like I just like. I don't like the whole algorithm thing where it's like kind of recommending you songs. Listen, like I want to listen to what I actively seek out listening to.
Yeah.
No.
Like, I understand
That's
people
what
are
I
like,
do.
oh, Spotify like has so much better like curated playlists for you, and I'm like,
You're
I don't like that stuff.
I'm
Like,
just not a playlist.
I
person.
actually disagree with that because I found some of my favorite artists now
On
through
Apple?
Apple Music, like the playlist suggestions at the bottom.
Well, that's
and I
great, yeah.
could never find any new artists on Spotify. Like
dang.
Maybe-
those suggestions,
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
what
Maybe
is
your
this?
algorithm
This
got
doesn't-
Like,
too locked
honestly,
in.
I feel
Yeah.
like
Too, yeah.
I do still find new artists and new songs to listen to,
Mhm.
but I'm just kind of like stuck in my ways. I'm kind of like listening to similar stuff, and like I actively like discovering like albums that I've never listened to that are like
Yeah.
like honestly, this is kind of embarrassing. But the past
Go,
like 2
expose yourself.
years, I've gotten into Fleetwood Mac.
What do you
Okay,
mean?
no, that's
no,
that's
yeah, no.
Okay.
We literally were just talking about Fleetwood
Okay,
Mac.
like I mean, it's embarrassing because like my
No.
parents never listened to them. My parents
Yeah,
never listened
uh-huh.
to Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
I listening now. It's like, oh, there was like a song or two that I heard on the radio, but I didn't actively start listening to Fleetwood Mac. But I had to like search that out. Like,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's how I want to treat my music. Is I'll listen to the stuff that I already like, and I want to actively search myself for new music, even if it's like I'm getting an ad on Instagram, like of this indie
Yeah.
artist.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'll check it out occasionally, you know. Like, but I want to seek it out. I don't want,
right.
yeah.
and so that's why I like Apple Music, and I just think the whole aesthetic of Apple is better.
Yeah.
But also like I have so much dirt on Spotify. No offense,
Yeah.
Spotify. Please don't take this down.
Please don't take this out.
We love you, just not for us.
We love
Yeah,
you. Yeah,
just-
you're just like
it's
not
for-
the one.
It's for another demographic.
It's not you. It's us.
It's us, yeah. We're the problem.
We're
But I
the
still use
problem.
Spotify. I hope you know I still use Spotify. But I only use
It is-
Spotify for my DJing because
Yeah.
like
Say that, yeah.
when I make playlists for DJing and stuff, I mean like 90% of it's Pitbull.
Let's go.
I mean, it's
Let's
just like
go.
which I love Pitbull.
Mr.
I honestly know.
Worldwide. Come
I know
on.
that's
Mr. Worldwide.
awesome.
Like I know the lyrics to all of his songs, like by heart. Like I do because I play like, and I enjoy it. I do enjoy it, but it's not like I'm just like after a long day of work. I'm not just like putting Pitbull in my car. You know, like
Yeah, that's fair.
so Apple Music I'm using for like what I want to listen to, and Spotify it's like my
Like a DJ
algorithm is
set,
so
yeah.
cooked. Like
Yeah.
for this last Spotify rap, just out of curiosity, I looked it up. But since I do so many weddings, guess who my number one artist was?
No
Who?
way, who was
Taylor
it?
Swift. I appreciate a lot of
Yeah.
Taylor Swift's work. I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't
You
call
like, I
myself a
don't listen to
Swiftie.
her
I don't really
regularly,
listen.
yeah.
Like yeah, I won't put on
Mhm.
most of her music when I'm just wanting to
That's
listen to
so
music.
funny, though.
But like a lot of
Hilarious.
these weddings, like she has like a lot of the lovey-dovey songs, like
Yeah,
Invisible
imagine-
String.
and everyone knows.
And
her
everyone-
stuff.
yeah, and
You
everyone
like
knows.
her or not.
And
you
so
know
like
her
I have
songs,
so much respect for her. But like my number one artist on Spotify, so like my whole algorithm's already screwed on
Yeah.
Spotify. Like I
Yeah.
can't trust it. And
Yeah.
I know people are gonna be like, oh, there's a way around it. You just gotta put do not whatever part of your. It's just easy to separate like
Yeah.
my
yeah,
work,
Yeah.
Right.
music, and then
And your personal
my
music.
Your
yeah.
personal
music,
music.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
probably knocked out some of the Swifties from her top listeners with your DJ.
Yeah,
music.
maybe you beat him
So,
out. That's
Swifties.
crazy.
Oh,
If you're
That's
wondering
true.
why you didn't make it, it might have been eggs.
this
Sorry.
guy might have been the egg.
The egg.
Is
You
that
heard
what
it here
you're gonna go
first.
That's what people been calling me, the egg,
The
like for
egg.
generations. Like, egg.
It's a family name.
It's a family name. Just faked it till I made it.
Oh,
That's awesome. All
All
right.
right, well, this has been fun.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
I honestly thought it was gonna be
Sorry, you-
longer. Like when you said, "Oh, that was our first question." Okay. so
No,
I'll-
no.
well-
I mean, if you want, I mean, we can keep going.
I mean, what else do you? No, I gotta go to bed at 8.
Yeah, we're a little.
It's
Little
nine.
late.
It's a
It's
little
nine.
past that,
it's
yeah.
not late
Yeah,
for
yeah,
eight.
yeah. Thanks
Just
for coming
kidding.
on, eggs.
Yeah.
Is there
It's
not?
fun.
Are y'all gonna do like some closing?
No, this is my
Yeah,
closing
this is
right
We'll
now.
pretty much-
You keep
yeah.
interrupting it.
Sorry. I don't know if I want this to end. I've never done
It's
this.
like I kind of miss
I
it.
kind of enjoy it. Can I be back? please?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
We talked about like another one of my passions. Like
You
What
know
else
about
am I
whatever you
passionate?
want.
what else am I passionate about? Actually, that's it.
All right.
Okay.
Music is it.
Well, we can
Well,
we can find a new thing. A
You
subsect.
win a Grammy, and then we'll talk about your next.
And we'll
passion.
talk about my next
Ooh,
passion after I
that's
Yeah.
a
do
great
something like
idea.
HVAC or
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
I
I love it.
quit my Grammy. Yeah. Cool.
Man.
Okay,
All right.
this was fun.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for
having
coming.
me. Thank you.
Go ahead and
This
give us
is-
our outro.
Been. I don't remember our outro.
We don't
so I
have
was just gonna say.
We don't have
thanks
an
for
outro.
listening, y'all. This has been better than Bookstacks.
Stacks.